Do you hate hatred? Is hatred always evil? Has it ever been necessary? From where does hatred come? And what does it take for a person to join a hate group? I'm Patrick Wannis, human behaviour expert, PhD. From where does hatred come? Theologians say hatred comes from the devil, but you have free will. Evolutionary psychology says hatred is a survival mechanism. If you or your loved one is being attacked, assaulted or raped, you'll need anger, aggression, and hostility to fight off the attacker, possibly even kill him, in order to save your loved ones. What about group hatred? The Nazis hated the Jews. How did we defeat them? With equal hatred. By developing anger, aggression, hostility sufficient to murder, kill and bomb to end the war and save innocent people. So there is a difference between hatred for an individual and hatred for a group. In 2008, scientists went looking to see, is there a circuit in the brain for hatred? But they, though, studied hatred for an individual and they found a hate circuit in the brain. They said it has nothing to do with fear, danger or threat, and it uses two of the same brain structures as does the circuit of love. So again, there's a difference, though, between hatred for an individual and hatred for a group. 100 years ago, Sigmund Freud identified what he called unconscious, hidden, primitive forces of aggression and sex. And he warned that unless they're controlled, they could lead to chaos and destruction. And we've all seen that within all of us, we have the ability to commit good or evil. Which leads us to the next point. What does it take for a person to join a hate group? Well, first we need to understand that all of us have our own tribe, our own group, a group or tribe with whom we identify. And we say, this is the group I love and these are the outsiders. And it's fine as long as both groups get along and there's no problems between them. But when one group starts to think, I'm under threat, I'm feeling powerless, I'm feeling helpless because of this group, then hatred and aggression and hostility starts to rise up. Now, if you are part of that group, what then determines the tipping point? What says, I'm going to actually go with the group now that they're expressing hate? And it comes down to one simple thing: permission. Perceived permission. Permission from others in general, from society in general, from social media, and or permission from a person in power, a position of authority, a position of control, someone that says, I approve of what you're doing. It's okay what you're doing. I understand what you're doing. I agree with what you're doing. I support what you're doing. Now that you enter inside the hate group, what happens to your sense of morality, your sense of right and wrong? It gets displaced by the entire consciousness of the group. And now the group gives away its sense of morality and power to the charismatic group leader. That group leader then develops a mission, a vision, and says, we're going to go after these outsiders because we feel threatened. Our survival is under threat. We feel helpless and powerless. We must stand up for ourselves. We must take back power. We must stand up and fight these outsiders, whoever they are. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the psychology of hate, you can go to my website, patrickwannis.com. I've written a lot about this, and there are 2 articles on the psychology of hate. And please note, I'm not in any way suggesting that we respond to hatred with hatred. I simply gave you an example in history where we did use hatred to respond to hatred to end the Second World War, to end the Nazis. I personally always promote forgiveness, love, compassion, and empathy. Simply decide, what do you need in this moment in your best interests? Again, my website is patrickwannis.com.